Hey there, how you doing? It's Louisa. I'm going live. Now, I really thought I'd have recorded this a short while ago. and June has just absolutely whizzed by, and before I knew it, the flipping full moon is right upon us. So what I want to do in this video is give you a quick overview about what I think are the real highlights of it, and also talk a little bit about the asteroids that are coming into play. I always think that um, whatever is around at the start of the new moon persists for a good couple of weeks. The situation is growing. And then in terms of the full moon, when the moon is actually at its fullest, it's describing the shrinking of the upcoming situation for the next couple of weeks until the moon shifts and appears to grow. So yeah, in this video, I just want to sort of explain what I think the starting point for the next 2 weeks are from a psychic, intuitive, emotional level. I'm doing this live. I don't normally do this live, so please feel free to say hello in the chat. I'd love to connect in and find out where you're watching from. Say hello. But anyway, let's bring up this slide. So the full moon in Sagittarius then. What have we got? So I've already spoken about the full moon in the May update, but also in the Venus wish upon a star kind of, I can't remember what I called it now, but make a wish, that's it. The video I posted earlier this week. May the 23rd is a really, really special day. And I went in at some length with that one. As you can see, we've got the Venus conjunct Jupiter. It's exact on this day, and they're also in an exact sextile with Neptune. I mean, this is a very, very dreamy energy, full stop. So it's big, big dreams, big aspirations. If you think of it, the full moon in Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So it's interesting that the moon and Jupiter are in opposition to each other. But, Jupiter is a really sort of important planet, I would say, at the time of the full moon in Sagittarius. So it's really activated. If you think of the moon in Sagittarius, who are your favorite friends who've got moon in Sagittarius? Maybe you were born with moon in Sagittarius. It brings up a sort of carefree, joyous nature, the kind of nature that absolutely wants to expand on things, have fun, and take things a little bit further than you might have at first thought you would do. So, it's an energy of going overboard. And of course, with a full moon as well, you can almost guarantee the energies that we are using right now, the energies that we're putting into our life are being expressed so much more hugely. Like, they are massive, they're immense. What we're feeling right now is really, really big. So this is a day full of potential, and also those kind of funny stresses that might just tip us over the edge. Jupiter can really make our nervous, anxious energy so much bigger than we were expecting. So we've also got Venus and Jupiter also in a conjunction to Uranus and the Sun. So again, this full moon is also in opposition to Uranus. If you're born with Uranus and the moon in a conjunction, a square, or an opposition, you will have a real sort of sensitivity to the moon and Uranus energy. In particular with the opposition, things can be quite surprising. Stuff can come up from the past. Stuff can come up and kind of catch you unawares. But essentially, Uranus and the moon is about creating an energy of freshness. Whatever is coming up is going to clear the air. It is going to create that clearing that you might just need. And obviously the sun and the moon in opposition really does also create a bit of an opening for you. I can see we've got Sarah Taylor watching, not far away from me, actually. So hi, Sarah. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining me. Newbienet. Woohoo. Oh, hey, caught ya. Hola. Newbienet is joining us from California. So I don't know what time it is there. It's 11 o'clock at night that I'm recording this. I just managed to sneak this in. So yeah, please do keep saying hello. Let's go back. So we've also got on this day of the full moon, with massive astrology anyway, because Venus and Jupiter in the conjunction sextile Neptune is big, but we've also got the full moon is exactly sextile Pluto, which means the sun is exactly trine Pluto. So this sort of 2-degree energy of Sagittarius Aquarius and Gemini is absolutely emphasized. Now, Moon and Pluto in a sextile is allowing us to create some change. It's allowing us to maybe get a grip a little bit. It's allowing us to take some action. It's allowing us to consider what we might need to let go of and create a stronger clearing. I think actually Uranus and Pluto energies, although I don't really come across too many people talking about them combined, but Pluto and Uranus, as far as I can see, are the big clearing energies. Pluto kind of brings us to our knees, and Uranus kind of shakes everything up, but the two of them together can be really, really effective. So I think the fact that Uranus is in an opposition to the moon, and then Pluto is in a sextile, it's almost like Uranus is surprising us a little bit, getting us considering stuff from the past from a new perspective, in a new way. And then Pluto is here to kind of steady us and say, you've got this, you can make this change. So anything you are wanting to let go of, change, turn around, Pluto is giving you some support. And then this trine to the sun, it's almost like you can believe it about yourself. And I think that's important, because if you can't believe about that you can do it, if you don't have that sort of confidence in yourself, then you'll never achieve anything. But I think Pluto trine the sun is absolutely giving you confidence. Then we've also got this, and I love this because I really am a big fan of Pallas Athena. And I know some of the people that watch this channel love Pallas Athena. Pallas Athena is the goddess of patterns, pattern recognition. She absolutely is cool and calm and strategic. She is the sort of cool, calm, feminine wisdom. This is being able to see things from a very strategic point of view and have the discernment not to take action straight away. So Pallas Athena and the moon together is kind of interesting, because the moon is so instinctual that we often want to move and like take action on something or react to things, whereas Pallas Athena gives us the ability to be in our emotions, but then take a step back, to observe our emotions. So I actually think this day, as far as full moons go, is giving us a lot of power. This area here between Uranus, Jupiter, Venus, and the sun is absolutely powering us up with optimism, the sense of the new, a sense of adventure, and a sense of well-being, enough to create a sense of let's get changing. Pluto here is supporting the whole process. Neptune's adding in some magic and some mystique. And then the moon over here on its own is but in a conjunction with Pallas Athena. The moon could get really stressed out by all this big energy. But in fact, I think Pallas Athena is allowing us to take a step back and actually notice, observe what we're feeling, and therein lies the power. I would say this is a day full of perceptual opportunities, so we can see things through one lens, another lens, and a third lens, maybe a fourth. The more we can see every situation from a different perspective, the easier it will be to create really strong and powerful change for ourselves. Just want to see if we've got any more comments from people. So Nubianette is saying it's 2 minutes past 3 in the afternoon in California. Donna is saying, hello, hi, caught alive from Ireland here. Goddess Athena is giving me a massive smiley face, because I know you absolutely love Pallas Athena. You've mentioned that in the comments before. So I'm glad I was able to mention her whilst you were watching. So thank you so much for that. Right, let's have a look at the next slide, because I'm going to bring in some of the asteroids now. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6. I'm a little bit tired. It's 11 o'clock at night. We've had such a busy schedule, but I really, really wanted to record this. So if I do sound a little bit worn out, it is because I really am. So these aren't exactly asteroids. We've got some TNOs, which are trans-Neptunian objects. We've got centaurs. We've got named asteroids, and then we've got some hypotheticals. So, what is a hypothetical? It's something that doesn't exist but is spoken about. And maybe there is an opportunity to do a show about that another time. But there's a hypothetical energy known as trans-Pluto Isis. Now, trans-Pluto Isis, where is it? There it is. Here at 3 degrees in the sign of Virgo. So It is in a square to the sun and all of these planets, and it's in a square to the moon and Pallas Athena and also Lilith. But trans Pluto Isis is a very, very sort of sensitive point that's been spoken about over the years by various astrologers and sort of planetary scholars, let's say. So it's hypothetical. Now, the thing with trans Pluto Isis is it gives, like, when it's really strongly aspected in a chart, it gives you a very hypercritical view of the world, and it's almost like you are absolutely giving away yourself, like handing it over, almost like letting yourself be. Well, it's almost like you're putting your life in the hands of other people. So I've seen it strongly in the charts of people who have very strict parents, from people who've learnt that maybe their needs can't be met because they're treading on eggshells, working with the needs of their parents. Interestingly, I always think of the Pluto in Leo generation as the main boomers. Um, and then towards the end of the boomer generation, Pluto goes into the sign of Virgo. So I actually wonder, when Pluto went over or was moving over trans Pluto Isis, I wonder how many of how many children born with trans Pluto Isis with a parent with Pluto over this point. I wonder if these are the people that we are talking about here, where they've got criticism from strict boomer parents, from parents who maybe said all those sort of platitudes of, suck it up and you should be seen and not heard and all that, where you're learning from an early age that your needs aren't important, other people's needs are more important. The key with this point here is to start to receive, to not believe that you're not eligible to receive anything, that good isn't going to come your way. There is this tendency to want to make yourself almost invisible, like, you don't exist, nothing about you matters. So it's interesting that at the time of this full moon, with all these massive potentials and the opportunity to really think big thoughts and have real big realizations and then step into the power of even considering them, I think, people who may well get a big change from this energy are the people who've denied themselves having their needs met. People that just are always helping other people, these sort of massive people pleasers who can't seem to do enough. This could be a really strong learning full moon for you. Then the next one I wanted to just pay attention to is Lilith. Now, there are different versions of Lilith, but essentially Lilith is, I think, the energy of hiding yourself away in a box. The whole idea that Lilith, was just herself, just absolutely being herself, and in the fullness of her being herself, the criticism that came up, about her being too much was maybe too much to bear. I have this idea, I grew up with this idea that, it's other people that put you in the box. It's other people that say, you're too much. You need to calm down. You need to sit in the corner and be quiet, very much that kind of narrative. And yet I actually think, now looking back and having, like raised children, seen what babies are like, I think our babies are primed. We're primed to know what is going on with our caregiver. And I think at the first hint of disgust or anger or kind of like you're too much, even if it's unexpressed, I think babies and small children pick up on that energy. And I think some of us actually do it to ourselves. We put ourselves in a box. So we hide our too muchness away so that other people can't put us in the box. We almost make ourselves more palatable. Now, Lilith isn't necessarily about making herself more palatable. It's about the accumulated rage and the accumulated resentment and anger and rawness of having had to dim your light somehow, or dim your anger, or dim anything. Lilith, I think, is about being completely natural and letting your wildness out, letting the true savage rawness and passion and whatever it is that you've got in abundance, which was possibly your own recipe for who you are. Whatever that is, that rejected side of you, that side that has been locked away, this is the side that is absolutely screaming to come out right now. So again, this is in a conjunction with the full moon. So Lilith is by default in opposition to the Sun, Venus, Jupiter. Uranus is possibly a bit too wide for, but this is quite tight. Lilith is also in a sextile to Pluto, also in a trine to Neptune. So this is a very, very strong motif for this full moon. My advice here is, if you are really feeling the energy of it, or feeling a little bit uptight, ask yourself right now, if I didn't worry about what people thought of me, who would I be? And maybe go back and think about all the times you've been put down or felt like you couldn't be yourself. Like, what are you hiding about yourself to make yourself more likable? Lots of things over this last week have come up in terms of shadow work and examining my own shadows. And I always think whatever's going on for me is usually mirrored later on with people coming to me and messaging me and saying, oh, I've got this situation. And so the theme that I'm really picking up on a lot at the moment is how we can forgive, love, and accept that side of us that maybe we've demonized, or that side that we've just thought is not good enough. And that side that really needs a lot of love right now. So that Lilith side of you, or that abandoned child, that rejected side of you, needs to be brought back in, loved, like completely loved, brought back in and said, you are completely okay. You belong here. Let it in. So just a thought. Okay. So another story coming up at the time of this full moon, and this isn't quite so full moony, because Sirius is in a sextile to the Sun, so it's working quite nicely with the Sun, and it's also in a trine to the Moon and a trine to Lilith. So it's got quite easy flowing energy. So Sirius, if I'm now, it's right, Sirius, just to get really, really clear, Sirius was a really beautiful. See, I made these slides about 3 weeks ago. It's taken me this long to record it. That's why I'm just thinking, hang on a sec, what am I saying? I'm just going to say some hellos to people, because I can see we've got people joining me. So we have got EMX. Hello. Got my moon in Sagittarius. Wow, happy wild full moon to you, my friend. Karima Al Halim, hello. Where are you from? Where are you joining us from? I'd love to hear. Trader Mike saying, hey, Louisa, glad I caught this Libra rising. Hey. Joe Summers is saying, hey, Louisa, lovely to catch you. Thank you for joining me. Donna, my full moon is conjunct natal Jupiter. Actually, my moon is in a conjunction with Jupiter too. Exact Neptune. Wow. At 0 degrees in the 3rd house. That is indeed a very, very strong energy. Now, given that your Jupiter and Neptune are exact, and also in a conjunction with the moon is really, really big, and it matches some of the fact that those three are in an aspect in your birth chart, and in this very big day tomorrow, I would say is there's a shared theme that you've got with tomorrow's full moon that really kind of sort of fits into your theme. Wonder how it feels to be you right now. I imagine it's quite exciting. And also at 0 degrees, given that the full moon's at 2 degrees, there's some resonance there. We've got Marissa listening as well from Toronto. Hi, Marissa. I love to find out where everyone's from, because it's really cool to think that we're all connecting internationally, which again is actually quite full moon in Sagittarius, isn't it? It's a bit of a party. Right. So let me just go back to Sirius. So Sirius was this kind of beautiful centaur, I remember now, and he was absolutely adored and loved. And he was absolutely in the wrong place, he was in completely the wrong moment in time with his gorgeous devoted partner or wife called Hylonomy. That's it. And they are like the Romeo and Juliet. They were like these people that were deeply, deeply in love. And if you remember the Romeo and Juliet, the idea that one dies, the other sees that they're dead, and they off themselves. They can't bear to be apart, and so they absolutely connect again through suicide. So Sirius was injured. He got a poisoned arrow somewhere in his body, and Hylonome came to his rescue and, was trying to save him. And so she pulled the arrow out of him, thinking that she was healing him, so that, we could get the poison out and he'll be okay. But actually what happened, I think, in pulling out the spear or whatever it was that wounded him, it either made him bleed to death or pushed something deeper inside him. So the whole story is, someone is trying to help you and actually makes it worse. And it could be quite fatal. So it's like wrong time, wrong place. And then, when Hylonome realizes she's killed her lover, she absolutely commits suicide. She just decides, that's it. I cannot do this. So this is a bit of a grisly theme. However, one of the things to bear in mind, maybe tomorrow with the full moon, maybe not the grisly side of it, but be aware that if something's going on right now, there is the mythical story of trusting someone that makes things worse unintentionally. So if there is a situation going on, or if somebody's offering you help that maybe you don't need, we've all seen those kind of crazy Hollywood films where somebody's desperately trying to get home to his wife or something like that. And, a friend or a stranger offers them a help, and he ends up going on a massive road trip, and kind of there's hookers and drugs and all sorts of things, and everything goes really, really wrong. We've all seen films like that. Well, I think we've all had situations like that where someone offers us, they're trying to pay us a good deed, and actually it just becomes a massive catastrophe. So watch out for that energy tomorrow is what I would say. Next one, we've got Vulcanus, which is the Hephaestus energy, which I think I may well have spoken about at the time of the new moon. Now, Vulcanus is a Uranian point. These are a different kind of energy. They are hypothetical, but the Hephaestus story is about, somebody that wasn't fully accepted for being themselves, that was ridiculed for being maybe seen as slightly ugly or slightly deformed. That's the Hephaestus story. But Vulcanus is the pure passion and skill and talent. This is resilience to come back. So even if you have been given a really bad hand, even if you're somehow slightly lower on the pecking order, things haven't been easy for you, it's the resilience and the guts and the determination to learn your skills, to learn them with passion, and to pick yourself back up. It really is about being completely independent. So you're not reliant on other people. It's a deep, deep level of independence, as far as I can see. Now, Vulcanus is also in a conjunction with Silurus. So it's kind of interesting because these are in a sextile to the sun, and all of these planets here, it could be very, very easy for us to if we combine it with this message of the full moon, whereby really sudden and great things can happen because we are challenging ourselves. We're quite excited by it. We're quite positive. There's lots of real positive stuff going on here with this conjunction in its sextile to Neptune, in its trine to Pluto. The moon is energizing it, so there is a lot of support to change things. What is adding into this is this idea of, hang on, I can be independent about this. Maybe things haven't been fair in my life. We can all find somewhere in our life where maybe we've been on the back foot, where things haven't been fair. And yet this is giving us the determination to do something about it. But if you are acting independently, if you are doing something for yourself, be very aware of well-meaning friends that might just make things worse. The last sort of energy I want to talk about is another centaur, which is Admetos. Oh, no, it's not. Admetos is a Uranian point. Sorry. Admetos is here in a conjunction with the sun. It's in opposition to Lilith and the moon. The energy is really, really nitpicking, and it wants everything to be very, very simple. Like, it wants to reduce everything down, doesn't want the fluff, doesn't want masses of explanations and words, just wants it really simple. And if you overcomplicate it, you'll get short shrift. They will tell you you're foolish or whatever. They'll cut into you with their sort of nitpicking ways. If you are aware of somebody who carries a lot of this energy around them, they may well have a bit of a boost of it at the time of the full moon, and also be quite defensive about it if you call them out on it. Most likely, if you've got someone in your life like that around you at this time, you might want to give them a bit of a swerve, because there is a bit more of a nitpicky, precise kind of energy going on. There is this energy lifting us up. There is this energy making us want to do a little bit more. Um, so yeah, but you may well find that if this isn't an energy that you use much yourself, you might choose to use it. So for instance, this might be one of the things that you actually hide about yourself. If you think of Lilith, one of the things that I learned early on in my life was I used to question things a lot because I love looking at patterns. Obviously, it's what I do. I love looking at patterns. And so I would see things that didn't make sense. And then I would be accused of nitpicking, because I was saying, well, that doesn't make sense. Why? So, there may well be a history of hiding your questions, hiding your too much, hiding your excellence, hiding that side of you that is an independent, resilient thinker, So I think this is a really interesting full moon. I think the astrology is super strong. Like I said in my earlier Venus update this week, there's a lot going on. I think this is a time when we can make some really big changes. So yeah, I'm going to go back to the chat room now and just see what other comments are coming in. So nice to go live. So we've also got Karima is joining us from America, Atlanta, Georgia. So cool. New York City for Trader Mike. We've got Loretta joining us. Hello, Saggy Rising from Minnesota. Hey. Used to question. Nubinette, are you somebody that asks questions as well? Donna, I love Asteroid. So knowledgeable and enjoy your teaching style. Definitely resonates. Well, that's great. Thank you so much. Right. Well, I did say at the start that I was just popping on to do a quick update. I've been on for 25 minutes, 26 minutes now, so I'm going to bugger off and go to bed. It's 25 to midnight and I've been out on the Raz and I really need some beauty sleep. So thank you so much for joining me. Before I go, just want to put out a thank you to everyone that supports this channel. It really, really makes a difference. And I love you all. But anyway, everyone that's joined us today, thank you so much. And have a great full moon in Sagittarius. Have a great Jupiter, Venus cycle start, all that jazz. And hopefully connect up with you real soon. I'm going to be launching a Jupiter video. I've got to record it first, mind. And yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to get the time to do it. But Jupiter is obviously going into Gemini in 2 days' time. Oh my goodness, I am so looking forward to June. This astrology is just kind of, the energy right now is just kind of running away from, it just feels like there's so much going on. Are you feeling that? That's the question I want to leave you with right now. Like, what are you most excited about? What are you most picking up on right now? Oh my God, I could just carry on, but I've got to go. But lots and lots of love to you. A few more comments and I'm really going. Donna's saying, thank you. Loretta's saying, oh my God, thank you for coming on so late. And Nubinette, have a good sleep. You know what? I really am going to do that. So anyway, lots of love to you all. Enjoy the rest of your days and catch up with you all soon. Lots of love.